is from an article from the New England Journal of Medicine last June 14th.
Okay.
It was an article written by the physicians and doctors at the National Institute on Drug Abuse. And it was put in the New England Journal of Medicine because the authors said, we're seeing a sea change in America. And doctors, you're not trained about what marijuana does, what its potential benefits may be, or what its adverse effects may be. You're going to have patients coming and asking you questions. We want to put together an article that will tell you what we know to the best of our knowledge at this point in time. So in terms of short-term effect, impacts short-term memory, making it difficult to learn or to retain information. It impairs motor coordination, interfering with driving and increasing the risk of injuries. It alters judgment. In high doses, it can lead to paranoia and psychosis.
Okay, hold on just a second. Tell me the difference between this and alcohol. When I'm using alcohol, I'm impaired, I'm not driving, I can't learn, all of those things.
I'm not here as a spokesman for the alcohol industry. Alcohol causes about 88,000 deaths a year.
Right.
Okay? It destroys families. It impacts every level of society and costs society in dollars, but more importantly in human lives and family structure.
So would it be wise if we are going to do a comparable drug to take alcohol off, if you could?
Well, to begin with, you can't.
Right.
But if we were having a discussion where the history of America with alcohol was as relatively short as it is with marijuana, where alcohol today was illegal, was not legal, and you were to ask me whether I was in favor of legalizing it, I would take the same position I take with marijuana.
Okay.
I might add, I would take the same position with respect to tobacco, which takes 500,000 lives a year and which causes ungodly costs on the healthcare system, principally Medicare and Medicaid, which we all pay. And even the private pay who are treated for the conditions related to their tobacco use wind up raising a rates for everyone else. So one may decide to smoke, and one may decide that you're ready to accept the consequences of what smoking will do to your health, perhaps 30, 40 years down the road. But one has to also recognize that you, the individual, is not the only one impacted by that.
Right.
Society is, and we're all helping to pay for it.
I think this is the strongest argument for me. It is. You have a right to do whatever you want, but as long as we're a society that is paying for everybody's health care, is having to take care of everybody else, you don't have a right. You don't have a right because you're screwing everybody else. You're enjoying yourself, but I got to pay for you for the rest of the life, and that's not right, nor is it fair.
Isn't that a problem with another part of our policy, though?
Yes, it is.
It's not necessarily marijuana policy. That's a problem with large government programs, isn't it?
That may be, but I'm not here to debate government programs. I have my problems with most of them as right. What I regard as a pretty strong conservative. I think we have to deal with the political reality we have today with respect to those programs. And unfortunately, the tendency and the trend is toward expansion of such programs, not a retraction of it. Hopefully, down the line, that impulse will change and that politic will change. But we're here to talk about introducing a third drug into widespread use within America. We have tobacco. We know the consequences. We know the problems. Tobacco, by the way, is one of the best public health success stories of the last century. In the 50s, over 50% of Americans were smoking cigarettes. Okay, today that number is down to around 20%. That's a great improvement. Ironically,
but that wasn't through banning it. That was just from education.
That was through education.
Correct.
That was through education, through graphic commercials and getting to the young.